We've had this 51 Studebaker for going on 4 years now. It came from Atlanta, Georgia, actually had 21,000 miles on it that time. And we ended up driving it home from Atlanta the 1st of December. Didn't get into any snow, so that was good, but the car needed a few things, but it didn't stop. It kept right on going. The history of this car is that it was made in California. Studebaker had a plant there from 1936 to 1956. They made 800 and some Champion Regals like this. The Regal was the top of the line for Champion, so it had extra chrome and the clock and things like that. This car was owned by a little old lady in Kansas City. I have a stack of service records about this tall from a small garage that took care of it for her. Apparently she never drove it in the winter because every spring they would charge the battery and start it up and get it going for her. I've done a few things to it. The brakes had just been done, the exhaust system had just been done, so I cleaned it up, got it where I would really think it was reliable. So it's been a nice little car. The color is Maui Blue, and that was a color that was only available in California for 51. Then they made it available in South Bend as well. It has overdrive, which makes it economical. It also has a hill holder. So if you stop on a hill, it stays there until you let the clutch out, and then you can go forward so you don't roll back and hit the car behind you or kill the engine or anything like that. It has a little Champion 6. It was available with a V8, which really made it a hot dog. But even with the little 6-cylinder, it goes right along. It likes to run 55, 60 without any problem.
Right.
Parked in a field, faded old paint on American steel, rusted iron frame, sinking in the weeds. To my teenage eyes, it was a driving dream. Grandpa Jim towed it up, got under the hood, kicked over the engine like he said he would. She wasn't real pretty, she wasn't real
coming through. There's several of them coming through.
It's been pointed out this car has only 15,000 miles. Okay. Well, we have a pair of needle-nose Studebakers, style that came out actually in 1950 and refined it for 51. The light blue car is a Champion Regal bought by David E. Holtz of Brighton, Michigan. The Regal was the top of the line in the Studebaker family. And this one is Just Plain Champion by Roy Marvel of Livonia, Michigan. Now there's really not a lot of functional difference between these two cars. You can see the Regal has a bright windshield molding. The vent window is bright frame, and I don't know from out back what's the rear window backlight is also bright molding. And there was a deluxe, and there's a rocker panel molding on this blue car. The deluxe model was sort of midway in between, and then there were differences inside that you'll have to see a Studebaker expert to have explained to you. These cars were on a 113-inch wheelbase, if I recall correctly. The 6-cylinder engine was 185 cubic inches, 85 horsepower. Anything else, Roger?
Oh, I got to make a minor correction to what you said. You said the Regal was the top of the Studebaker line, but actually the Commander was the top.
Well, I meant trim level.
And
Commander's outranked as
it's very
champions.
seldom we ever catch Jim on anything. But
Commander's outranked champions, but
the other thing the Studebakers featured is the climatizer, which was a heating system that had the heating element under the seat. So it actually blew air to feet. Indirectly, so it was a very comfortable setting. Notice also that Studebaker had side vents on the fenders. This is in contrast to a lot of cars that had cowl vents filled, or sometimes venting in the back of the grill. So Studebaker had a couple of different features that other cars didn't. This model line started in 1947, and that's when Studebaker was able to advertise that they were first by far with a post-war car. They were styled by Raymond Modi, and he came up with the idea of the bullet front, because if you look directly on the Studebaker from the front, it kind of looks like a propeller of an airplane, and that's the look he was looking after. Something that would kind of leap forward and get your attention. He succeeded even 6 years later.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Another feature Studebaker had that I was reminded of when he started the car is that the starter button remained on the floor as on pre-war cars, but it was actually activated by a tab on the clutch pedal.
I believe Studebaker also had that handy hill holder too.
What?
Hill holder.
Oh, the hill. Yeah, but I've learned that a lot of other people offered hill holders, which was a thing that kept you from rolling back. But Studebaker clearly made the most of it.
Western Video, Master of Space, Hero of Science, Captain of the Video